So this is the review that made the internet meltdown. The review that was heard around the world, right? With Screen Rant, Black Myth Wukong. So just some context for those of you who maybe don't know, because again, I stream every single day. I upload videos every day, and there's still topics that people are like, I haven't heard anything about it. So I like to give the context just ahead of time, even though I know most people have heard it already. Black Myth Wukong is a game made from a Chinese developer called Game Science, and it is one of the 2 Chinese developers that are being targeted by people that are totally not diversity consultants, and they're essentially trying to be extorted for either money or their image is being ruined. In this case, with Black Myth Wukong, there was claims of sexism, misogyny, or whatever from one of the developers. Come to find out, the person from IGN who wrote the article, Rebecca Valentine, purposely mistranslated what was said by the developer, thus resulting in a false claim essentially made against them that every single mainstream journalist is parroting in every article that they ever write about this game. They constantly
oddly enough, no, not all of them. IGN, who has perpetrated it in their review, doesn't mention it at all.
Probably they were told not to, most likely.
Have you read the IGN Black Myth Wukong review?
Not yet. I know they gave it an 8 out of 10. I'm not even
joking. It is a legitimately good piece of game journalism. I was fucking floored.
There you go.
I'm glad to see it then. It's about fucking time.
Will make you really do your job, won't they?
Then, of course,
money's involved.
There was the fact that with that story, it became about the backdrop of them potentially being exploited for millions of dollars to have Sweet Baby Inc. work with them or another DUI consultancy. Mm-hmm. And it's just obvious that the journalists were basically trying to run some kind of racket where they'd be like, if you don't have these consultants come in, it would be a shame if everyone called your game sexist and racist now, wouldn't it? Which is just terrorism.
Like everyone's going to buy it.
And they're really going to learn their lesson now in a few days, I'm sure. They're going to be like, wow, yeah, we really shouldn't have been called sexist. That's going to hurt our sales.
Please tell me you're going to put Kotaku's review on this. Leon showed
us. Wait, it wasn't even a review, though.
Have you seen Kotaku's review?
I know.
What?
Yeah, Kotaku's review is just a fucking parrot of someone else's review, isn't it?
Me and Gooch went over it last night. It is Kotaku's review is literally just a list of everyone else's reviews. Screen Rant.
Really?
What the fuck? This game is a buggy mess. Here's what all these other outlets say, and they just regurgitate. And they
Dude, no.
Wait, time out. Hold on. So isn't that what they say we do with content all the time?
That's exactly what we were saying.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Look, let me put it on the private chat. They're not fucking around, dude. It's real.
Between Kotaku and Nick Calandra, they've basically just exposed themselves as the true grifters this week. That's
what's happened.
That Nick video is crazy.
The Nick Calandra shit was wild.
He is trash.
You know what I love about this part right here? One of their cons, they go, gameplay becomes repetitive over time. Oh, I don't know. I think that's something called game mechanics. And what exactly is repetitive about it? The basic gameplay loop, or the
I don't think we should take this review seriously when one of the cons is lacking in inclusivity
shallow
and diversity.
Final Fantasy VII's gameplay.
Ryan, there weren't enough black monkeys in the game. There's only the tan monkeys.
Well, let's go over the pros and cons really quick. Let's stick to Screen Rant, but before we do that, I have to call it out because it's absolutely insane, bro. DJ. Holy shit, bro. That is massive. DJ, that is a massive 50 membership banger, dude. Holy shit. I still see the chat just like getting memberships left and right, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, DJ. That is insane. You did not have to do that, but I greatly appreciate that, man. You just made 50 trans people lose their mind. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that, brother. Let's look at the pros and cons really quick,
possibly their lives.
Possibly 40% of the minimum. Pros: combat is fluid and fun. Cinematography can be breathtaking at times. Great diversity in items and mechanics. I thought that was pretty ironic.
Wait, cons. So how can combat be fluid and fun if you say the gameplay is repetitive over time? That would mean that it's not
Well,
it's not fun.
You'll understand when you know who the writer is and their experience or lack thereof, I should say.
That's a really
cons. Game performance is unpolished, lacking in inclusivity and diversity. Gameplay becomes repetitive over time. Now, I had a little bit of a melty. Okay, I had a little bit of a meltdown on the unpolished and the glitchiness and all that shit, and I'll explain why. So the reason why I had a little bit of a melty melt is because, you know, I do try to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, and I know I really shouldn't, especially games journalists, but
never works out.
Yeah, it almost never works out. In this particular scenario, actually not even just this one, Tech Radar also, I'll explain in a second, but apparently they didn't even have the minimum system requirements to even play this game. If you look at the PC that they played on, it says Black Myth Wukong recommends the minimum processor Intel i-Core i5-8400 and an AMD Ryzen 1600. Their recommended processor, which I own and use to test the game, is Intel i7-9700. They did not mention whether or not they had a graphics card that was meeting the expectations. So since they decided to leave that out, I got to imagine that they probably didn't have one that met the expectations. Why the fuck are you playing this game on a toaster is beyond me. Again, I don't understand. And this is why, if you're going to dock the game for points against, you know, polished graphics or whatever, or FPS frame rates and whatnot, you should probably play on something that's somewhat respectable, right? At least somewhat. But this is not even the biggest insult. So did you guys see Tech Radar's review?
Tech Radar, so sort of. Tech Radar is one of the ones Kotaku regurgitates. So I've read the Kotaku version.
This Kotaku thing isn't. This isn't actually a review. It's literally just a collation of everyone else's reviews. Yes, you're right.
So let me just explain really quick Tech Radar. So Tech Radar also complained. They all said the same thing, by the way, because they get together on the Discord and they talk about the things they're all going to mention, blah blah blah. So they all hit the game for the same exact thing: poor performance, lag, whatever, frame rates, buggy, unpolished, lacking in diversity, and all that stuff. But Tech Radar, I haven't checked the others. Tech Radar is super insulting because they played this PC game, right? They say in their article, this is a literal grift, okay? Because it's a con, it's a lie.
Yeah, totally.
Right? They say that they played this game on PC, right? And they reviewed the PC version of the game. You know what they played this game on? They played this game on an Asus ROG Ally, which is essentially a Steam Deck. They played this game on a handheld on low graphic settings.
What?
And you're trying to tell me that you're going to complain about graphics, performance, and lag and everything while playing a AAA, pretty decent graphical game on a fucking handheld. And that's supposed to be PC reviewing? Like,
what? It's like rating Hogwarts Legacy by playing.
And then she hit it exactly on the fucking Switch, exactly. And then she hit it all the way at the bottom of the reviews. So you had to scroll all the way down to see what she played on.
What was the name of the device again?
Games journalists
Asus ROG Ally. That's what it's called. Asus ROG Ally on turbo mode. Okay. So it's supposed to be like whatever the fuck that means. Like, I guess the best. Still, turbo mode. It's like what you're playing on a handheld, and you're saying you reviewed the game on PC. Like, that's not. Anyway,
whatever. You know the grift is over when the game journalists don't have a computer good enough to play the games, but we do.
That's criminal. I dare say.
Except you, Ryan. Sorry,
we got Nick Calandra to do the review because, as we found out, he was given a bunch of free stuff for good reviews.
Yeah, he's definitely got the equipment.
Right.
If your setup can't handle minimum recommended settings for a game, don't buy the game, folks. It's as simple as that. And for these journo rat bastards to try and review a top tier game that's due for release on substandard hardware for that game, it's not surprising by our standards, but from a normie who trusts journalists, or in this case, game journalists, it is quite literally a grift.
It's the grift.